Alex back with another video that might get him hurt, but you know how it is here. I got to spread the truth to as many people as I possibly can. Let me get set here. Let's loosen up a little bit, because this might get crazy. Okay, I'm gonna dive into extreme detail on some other prediction methods, models. Everything's a lie at this point. I'm just going, not everything's a lie. Not everything's a lie. But I want to show you a couple of different perspectives. Now, we've been talking about, and you can go reference the last video. I'm not going to say it again in this one. Well, not the last video. The last video was like a running video. And the one before that was kind of a running video too. But there was another one before that that was talking about crypto and a prediction of the crypto market. That one, I showed you guys potential bottom dates. I was saying, hey, bottom dates happening this time. Okay, we're going to see the bottom of the market. I said 500 days before the Bitcoin halving event. Now, the bottom is completely different from the bull run, right? So we might see the bottom, but it's going to trend sideways for a long period of time. So if you look at crypto, if you look at Bitcoin, et cetera, it's going to trade sideways for a long period of time. Now, I want to try to gauge when we're going to see that momentum, when we're going to see Bitcoin kind of actually make us money. That's what you guys are all here for. When is Bitcoin going to actually make us money? Let me say it again. When is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency going to actually make us money? That's what I'm going to try to answer today. Okay, so it's going to be another crypto prediction. We're going to get down and dirty. And you might be wondering, why is Alex have, how much is Satoshi Nakamoto worth? So there's a lot of estimations. Some people claim there's more. Some people claim he owns less. But this man holds 1 million Bitcoin. If you understand how Bitcoin works, there's only 21 million that will ever be printed. Only 21. The man owns 1/21th. Is that a word? He owns 1/21th of the entire supply. So look, I've gone through so many different versions of who I am in this market. At one point I was a profit maxi. Now I'm a freedom maxi. At one point, I was heavier into altcoins than anything. At another point, I'm like, man, these altcoins look like scams. Let me be that Bitcoin maxi. Not completely. I've never been a complete crazy Bitcoin maxi, just to be clear. But I was like, okay, I understand why Bitcoin maxis are saying what they're saying, right? So the market goes up and down, sideways. It does all these things, and it will always change your perception. But if there's one thing that's consistent, is I've always been a person that wants to make as much money as I possibly can. And the reason why is because money is used as a tool to enhance who we are as a person. So if you're a good person, money will bring wealth and prosperity to everyone around you, right? If you're a bad person, then you get the opposite effect. You get the point. But money equals freedom. This is why I've changed my life, I've changed my name to Freedom Maxi. I'm a Freedom Maxi. That's all I want to do, is help as many people watching this video as well as people on my channel. I want to help them become financially independent and free from this system, this cog, this system that you all know, which is wake up, roll out of bed, drink your coffee, go to work for 7 to 8 hours, come home, watch Netflix, play video games, and eat some pizza or something, then go back to sleep. You spend 1/3 of your life sleeping. You spend 1/3 of your life at a job. If that's not slavery, I don't know what else is. You tell me. You tell me what slavery is. Please. They used to put actual chains on you and whip you to do things. Now they just trick you. So to me, people always ask, well, Alex, what are you doing here? Look, this was not a cryptocurrency YouTube channel a couple of years ago. Look back at my first videos. Look at the name of my coaching, Fundamental Secrets. Look at the name of my channel. I didn't put like Crypto Alex. This is a channel that documents the growth of my life. I will not give viewers, followers, et cetera, if I did not become a better person. I've always told people, document your life, become a better person. That's what you call an influencer. Now, some people will there's tricks you could do to get around that. Like you can just only show the good parts about your life and cut videos up and not show the negatives. And a lot of people look like freaking robots, but when you meet them in real life, they look like normal people. The biggest people you've ever met. We're getting into a little influencer rant here, but I just want to explain the reason why I have Satoshi Nakamoto up there is because I will always change. That's kind of the premise or promise of my channel. Whether it's crypto, whether it's real estate, I don't care. This is a documentation of my life. I'm going to continue to grow and continue to show you guys how to grow for yourself. That's the proposition here. And when I'm looking at this, there's a lot of questions I have when an anonymous founder of a coin owns 1 million of the 21 million of supply and no one knows who he is. He's anonymous. He has no accountability. If he exits, scams everybody, and dumps the entire supply in the market at the exact top and destroys the price of Bitcoin, whatever the case is, we don't know who this person is. He has extreme power. And some people claim there's more. He owns more Bitcoin. He has a extreme power, 5 to 10% of the entire supply he owns. And no one knows who he is. See, again, like I said, I've never been like a Bitcoin all-out maximalist, but I was inching towards Bitcoin in this bear run because of some of the scams we've seen. And although altcoins had some scams, remember, it's early. So of course you're going to see some of these altcoins do bad because some people are actually scammers. But for this Bitcoin thing, although it might be decentralized and no one has taken it out, right? There's been a couple of hacks, but no one's officially taken it out. This is always my big, argument is like, oh, you can't really stop Bitcoin because, they've tried to attack it before and fork it and nobody's officially taking it out. The way I'm feeling now, it's like, bro, this man owns too much of the supply. No one knows who he is. You could look at the what is it called? The pool of miners the pool of miners. So like the pools themselves is extremely centralized. There's a lot of different issues. And I would rather have, if I'm going to put my money in some people will understand this. I'm going to say money for the people that don't understand this. If I were to put my money on something, and then for the advanced people, if I were to save my time in something, I would want to know who is the creator of that. Because if you look at all the major banks in the past, and I've talked about this before in other videos, and we're getting a little too deep here, but basically somebody makes a money and then gets people to adopt it. That's essentially what happened to Bitcoin. They made a money, got people to adopt it. I want to know who that person is, especially if I'm going to adopt it, especially if it's the most popular cryptocurrency and it has a chance to be a world currency. I'm talking about world currency where everybody has to adopt it. Right now, we have country currencies. So although we don't know who made, well, we do know who made USD, but we don't know who controls it. What we do, it's the Federal Reserve. We don't know who controls the Federal Reserve. At least we know it's the United States currency. And at least we kind of know the figures behind it. We can figure it out. But with Bitcoin, right now, no one can figure it out. And people claim it's Adam Black, but I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. So that's kind of my official thoughts. It's like, man, look, altcoins drop 97%, but so does Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 83, 85%. So it's like a 10% difference. But the thing about altcoins is at least they are transparent. And at least they show you, hey, we're taking 10% of the supply. This is the founder. And at least there's different options. With Bitcoin, it's just like one total ultimatum option. And I don't know if that's fair, that there's only one option and the dude that made the option owns 5 to 10% of the supply and we don't know who he is. Everybody's, oh, but they're going to kill him if they, okay, so everything was perfect about Bitcoin, I think. Not perfect. Obviously it has issues, right? But I think it was pretty good, except for the fact this man owns 5 to 10% of the supply. Why didn't he just launch Bitcoin and not own any of it? That would have been, I think, truly fair. Or burn the supply. Lock the keys up. Do something with it. But I don't know. And that's a little rant about Bitcoin. We're going to stop there. All right. So I've realized that, I've talked about it in other videos, but I've realized that, look, the Federal Reserve right now, I think everybody at this point understands that the Federal Reserve specifically is controlled through monetary policy, right? They control the printing and the not printing. And that's how all the economies of the world work, essentially. But the thing is that there's something before that. Because to a certain extent right now, I think everybody knows that the Federal Reserve and what they're doing, and it's getting outed, basically. And there is an end date to what the Federal Reserve is doing. And I think people realize that now. There is an end date. I don't know when it is. It could be 20, 30 years from now. It can never happen. I'm sorry. It can't happen. I think there is an end date. The more people that know what the Federal Reserve is doing, they're not going to allow it eventually. So the thing before controlling money, look, this is deep talk here. This requires kind of a high level of understanding of money. But if you really think about what money is, once you buy everything in the world, what's left to buy? So let's say I'm a trillionaire. I'm the first trillionaire ever. Pedro, the guy with the mustache, first trillionaire ever. All right, vote for Pedro. All right. But let's say I bought every physical item. At that point, the only thing left to buy is human work. And then we go back to, again, the original topic of discussion is like, hey, what's modern day slavery? It's controlling you to work, right? So if you think about it, everybody's fighting over resources to control humans. That's kind of how it's working. And it's the same thing for your business. Like, it's not control. Some of them voluntarily do it, but I pay my employees to do a certain task, right? So at the top of the top, it's perception. Perception and influence is the top of the top. It is more valuable than money. Why? Because I can get someone to do something without paying them. If I tell someone, hey, do this, and they really believe in who I am, I don't got to pay them. So there's a new game. The new game is who can control the perception. So although Bitcoin is not controlled by monetary policy, and everybody knows that it decreases every 4 years or so through the Bitcoin halving event, the decrease of issuance, everybody knows this, but I'm going to really mess you up right now. If you appreciate the content that we're providing here today, or at least I'm providing here today, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend. Share it with somebody in cryptocurrency because, guys, it's getting really deep. Let's front run monetary policy. Let's front run it. Before they controlled us through the issuance of dollars, you look at through history, Bank of England, all of them, they controlled humans through the issuance of dollars. If they control the money, they control the humans. Now let's take it a step further. Let's control the minds. Let's control the minds of humans. Perception's everything. And this is where social media and internet have messed the game up for all of these financial people. The game before money is now perception. So here's monetary policy of Bitcoin 101. I don't know how to put a title on this, but pay attention because this is getting real interesting. All right, so perception's at the top. Perception leads to adoption or not adoption. So if I ran, I don't know, a search engine and controlled 90% of all perception, aka Google, I can control when people are going to talk about things and when they're not going to talk about things. Why? Because if people start talking about it, I can suppress it. If people talk about it, I can increase it and put gas on it, on the fire. So I can literally amplify or suppress perception. If I owned perception, or if I owned the search algorithm, if I owned the internet, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many different companies. I'm not going to get into this. That would be another video. But perception's at the top. And if I own that, then I can control adoption of crypto. And we've seen this. We've seen people get shadow banned. We've seen, Elon Musk try to buy Twitter because of the control. And obviously it's not maybe it is for crypto. And they're trying to hide it. They're trying to make it seem it's like for politics, United States politics. That's why he's trying to get Twitter so he can make it a true place of speaking free. But in general, I could suppress or increase the adoption of crypto if I owned perception, which is our search algorithms is what people look at to consume information, news outlets, et cetera, et cetera. No one looks at news anymore. They look at social media. So let's control social media. Let's control the search algorithms, right? If anyone who can control that, and this is a conspiracy. This is a conspiracy. I don't know. Leave a comment below if you guys think it is. But if I can control that, then I can control the adoption of crypto. This is the same thing essentially the Federal Reserve currently has right now. The Federal Reserve controls the issuance. Why? Because if I can control adoption, then I can control price. Now let's look at all of the charts I brought up. We'll make a second version of this video. If you guys don't understand, like and subscribe. I think the people are really going to understand this. The people have been following me for a while. But remember that chart I show you guys all the time where I literally show you the exact top and how, we had Elon Musk saying Bitcoin's environmentally damaging. And then we have China. How many times has China banned and unbanned crypto? How many times? Right? So again, if you can control perception, you can control price. If you can control price, this is where it gets crazy. You can control miner profitability. Why? Because if the price of Bitcoin's down, there's certain miners that will become inefficient and will be forced to come offline. If you understand how Bitcoin mining and proof of work works, basically these miners are mining for profit. So if I run my miners and they're using $300 worth of electricity, and then but I'm making $500 worth of Bitcoin, then I can keep the miners on because I'm making $200 profit every single day, or not day, month, whatever. But if now I'm producing only $250 worth of Bitcoin and I'm spending $300 worth of electricity, then it's better off of just, instead of mining in the first place, just taking $250 and buying the Bitcoin. So price controls miner profitability, and the inefficient miners and mining facilities go offline when the price goes down. And this is where we see the difficulty level. And this is where it gets crazy. The difficulty level goes down as the price of Bitcoin goes down because there's less miners mining. There's less miners mining. There's less people trying to compete in the competition to get the block reward. If that's the case, then the difficulty decreases. Okay? Which turns down the block confirmation time. So if you understand how Bitcoin works, it's not on time. When people say that Bitcoin halving dates, it's by blocks. So let me try to explain this Barney style. Promise, guys, towards the end of the video, we're going to get into more predictions and I'm going to show you specifics and it's going to get crazy. It's going to get real crazy. Like when I sing, you know it's real here. But basically, the way Bitcoin works is the public ledger. 101, Bitcoin 101. It's the same thing for some altcoins, not all of them, but some of them. It's a public ledger. So imagine a town of 10 people, and there's one person that records every monetary transaction out of those 10 people and writes it down on this long list of transactions and just keeps writing. That's essentially what Bitcoin does for the entire world, but it does it automatically through the blockchain. And every 10 to 15 minutes time, they have completely destroyed the perception of time. And once Bitcoin came out, time has changed forever. Time is a man-made thing, and Bitcoin changed it. It's a little bit too deep. But the point is that every 10 to 15 minutes, there's a block. And the block has a batch of transactions. This is why it's called the blockchain. And the batch of transactions, okay, are those transactions I just told you. The lady writing down every single transaction that happens in the town. Basically, imagine now that lady could only write 100 transactions and then she has to take a break. And then 100 transactions has to take a break. That's essentially what the blockchain is there's a certain amount of transactions that fit in that block. Then it gets basically a lottery system. All the miners try to compete for the reward to verify it. So they're verifying it. They're saying, okay, the transactions in that are true. Once they verify it, there's a reward. And the reward comes out in the form of Bitcoin and gets paid to all the people that provided work to verifying that batch of transactions. So there's the analogy. Okay, so you got the lady, she takes a break, and then somebody else comes in and says, okay, those transactions are true. So you have a secondary figure that goes and confirms around the 10 people in the town and says, hey, all right, those 10 people definitely did that. So this is true. Boom. Put the stamp on it. Block confirmed. And then that guy that verified it gets a reward. I think currently now is 6.25 BTC. Now there's a little bit more complex than that, but that's how it works. So if you think about it, there's actually the time is the block through the blockchain, right? And right now, if you look, the reason why you can't directly confirm exactly when the block date or the next halving is going to happen is because block confirmation times either increase or decrease depending on a variety of things, but it's mostly transaction congestion. So essentially, you can slow down time on the blockchain with less transactions or less adoption. So if we bring it back over here, again, the difficulty, if there's more miners, okay, the block confirmation time increases. Okay, this is not exactly, I'm pretty sure I'm going to come up with a better model than this, but this is something I just kind of drew together. I want to give you guys kind of like this is like the rough draft to this theory. And then as we go further, I'm sure it's going to get crystallized into something else. That's kind of how it always works. But in general, as you can see here, the network difficulty increases. Try to just right here. Network difficulty increases, but you see these times where it comes down, right? And if we come over here, average confirmation time, you can see there's spikes. So in this case right here in 2018, at the peak of the bull run, time slowed down because it took much longer to confirm. Average confirmation time. It took much longer to confirm. And then here, it took much longer to confirm. So essentially, you can manipulate the date of the Bitcoin halving by increasing or decreasing the amount of time, which if we go back to over here, Bitcoin halving date gets manipulated by the block confirmation time. That's I don't think it's the difficulty. It might be the miner profitability. We might have to cut this one out, but it goes back to miner profitability, which is determined by the price of Bitcoin, which is determined by the adoption, that when they choose to have adoption, which is determined by human perception. That's an interesting lesson there, but monetary policy has changed. It used to be you control the issuance. Now you control people's brains. This is how it works. because essentially it gives you the same end result, but you're front running the other person. You're front running the person because, again, at the end of the day, the whole purpose of getting money is to control people. So if you can control people without even dealing with money, that's the answer. So whoever this anonymous person is that owns 5 to 10% of the supply and obviously controls the perception in some way, shape, or form is attached to the control mechanism, because why? Bitcoin's the biggest search term. Bitcoin moves everything, has the most liquidity, infrastructure, like we've always talked about. That's the new monetary policy. Mouse drop. They used to do mic drop. I can't drop my mic. I can't drop my mic, so mouse drop. Rewatch this video if you have to. I know it's going to change a lot of people's perception on what's going on here. But again, who cares? Because at the end of the day, I'm a freedom maximalist, which front run of that is profit maximalist. And we know altcoins have the biggest profit for sure. Yeah, so everything we're going to talk about this video is going to be about the Bitcoin, but for me, in my head, it's in the context of attempting to make as much money as possible off of altcoins. So now that you understand how Bitcoin works, now that you understand how this whole entire kind of like Bitcoin halving mechanism works, we can look and see this is the exact date. And I put a random line here. This is not an exact date, but the first halving, the Genesis block, or the beginning of Bitcoin to the beginning of Bitcoin to the first halving was 1,419 days. Then that one to that one was 1,319. And this one to this one was 1,432. So all I did was take the average of these and I made my best estimation. And it's coming out to March 1st. Obviously, it can change and manipulate that. So we don't know for sure. But that's my best estimation. Now, we did make some videos, again, predicting the price of Bitcoin based off the halving. So you can go watch that. But remember, it's going to get deep, guys. It's going to get deep. But basically, if you all submit to the fact that USD is the world reserve currency, it's the top of the pyramid, right? It's the top because the dollar controls every other mechanism on planet Earth because, again, it's the world reserve currency. Everything is tied to the dollar. Then you would agree with this. 10-year bonds is the confidence of Americans or anyone in the country. Basically, it's the confidence of America. If you have confidence in America, you buy U.S. government bonds. Why? Because government bonds are essentially an IOU. So that's like saying you go to America and say, hey, America, I'm going to give you $10,000 and you're going to give me a government bond. And in this government bond, I'm going to get my 10K back, but I'm also going to get yield and I get a personal guarantee from the United States government. That's how it works. But this is a 10-year time frame. There's different types of time frames. 10 years historically known. It's a psychological level. 10, right? Psychological level. So it's been used as an indicator for American confidence, basically, for a long period of time. So if we look at it, it's going to get a little crazy here. Bear with me, guys. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Highest quality, honest information on the internet. Nobody does this. Nobody puts their life at risk to give you guys this information. That's a fact. I don't even know if these people could dive that deep. I mean, I'm on day 55. I'm running 67. Look, I do want to do a little rant on that because I talked about it with some other people. Man, if you want to know how somebody's doing with their current, you following all these leaders. Everybody's following all these leaders, right? And I put out a controversial tweet, and maybe I'm wrong, whatever. But I said, you can't handle your investments if you can't handle your body. Now, maybe you can. Maybe you can get rich becoming fat. But usually what happens is they were on point first, and then they became fat after they got rich, usually, from what I've noticed. But if you can't manage just a simple body, your simple household, what makes you think you can manage your investments? I just don't see. Maybe you can. Maybe there's these outliers. But I'll say the vast majority of people, if there's 10 people, if all 10 of them cannot manage their bodies, 7 of them are not going to make it. 8 of them are not going to make it. So it's perfect to, I don't know, get your health in order, right? So bring it back to all the influencers and stuff. Bro, I'm putting the runs out not because I want to be an influencer in the fitness industry. People are getting it so mixed up. It's a little bit deeper than that. Think. What am I doing here? I just told you guys not a crypto channel. I showed you videos in the past of me becoming a better person, right? I told you I'm going to become a better person in real time and show you on video as truth and as honest as I possibly can. That's this channel. It's not a crypto channel. I just happen to be in crypto. Look at the name of my business. It's called Fundamental Secrets. It's not called Crypto Secrets, right? Think, okay? So as a leader, leading all of these people, which I don't know how many there are, it's probably 10 to 15K. I'm literally showing you my workout regimen because you can't track my progression, right? So a lot of people you're giving me a lot, by the way. Thank you, community, for giving me the opportunity to do this. But you're giving me a lot. You're giving me your time. It's the most valuable commodity. I just showed you money is after time. Time is like the front run. Time is the front run. So you guys watching my videos, you're paying me with a lot of attention. Thank you. And then there's actually people actually giving me attention and money through FS. So number one, I want to express my gratitude for everybody doing that for me. Thank you so much. And number two, I'm going to show you that as a leader, I am growing in and developing the best way I can. And the best way to do that is showing my physical output when I work out. This is that little workout, that 2-mile run, that 4-mile run. I did 4 miles yesterday. I do 7 miles sometimes. That little run is a small hint. It's the tip of the iceberg of what happens on a day-to-day basis to provide you guys with the highest quality information in crypto and on planet Earth. This is real. But that right there is perfectly tangible proof. Boom. I am actually leading you the right way. Boom. Every day. Day 55. Actually leading you in the right direction. But these other people, they're putting out this content and it looks great, but it's empty. It's entertainment. I'm taking the right steps. I'm trying to show you guys how to become better humans, not just make money in crypto. You're going to lose it. These guys are just getting you to buy altcoins. And then you think it's correct because you made a little bit of money, but then you lose it all because you suck as a human. Have you not noticed this? I'm getting passionate, but it's real. They're getting you to buy the altcoins. They use these sketchy tactics, right? To convince you to buy an altcoin, right? Think about it. 100x super cycle. All these sales tactics, and I use them too. All these sales tactics to get you buy an altcoin. Then the altcoin goes up in price and you feel good. And then the feel goodness, that positive dopamine hit in your head goes to having faith in this person. And then they keep doing that and they build up a whole bunch of audience of people that have this positive reinforcement. And then boom, they dump on you. I'm not going to expose too much, but look, the best way to run my business was not giving away free memberships for running 67 days. Let's just be clear. That's not the best way. I lost a lot of money and I lost a lot of dopamine hits from people. Now the dopamine hits people are getting are coming into self-confidence. Instead of giving it to me, this is a real rant right now. We're getting deep here. Instead of all of that confidence, that a lot of people give to other people when they're watching a YouTube video, all that confidence is going into the actual person themselves. I'm shooting myself in the foot. This is a fact, to try to basically help as many people as I possibly can. If you can't respect that, the truth hurts. Man, some people are going to get this. Some people are just going way over their head and Alex, get back to the money. Okay, all right, I'll get back to the money. I'm sorry about that. So the simple kind of argument I want to establish here is the U.S. government bonds 10-year yield, okay, is a good indicator to see investor confidence in the United States. It's a really good one. It's one of the best. It's probably not the best. It is the best. I don't know. Ask a macro guy, but from all of my research, it's pointed to the best. So when this goes up, it means that investor confidence is decreasing. Why? Because remember, we're looking at the U.S. government bonds 10-year yield. So the higher the yield, the less people are investing. And then when it goes down, that means the more people are buying government bonds. So when it goes down, people are like, oh, I want to buy these bonds. Give me the bonds. And the yield drops. It's the same thing as, not the same thing. I can't compare Celsius. Let me stop. I can't compare Celsius to the U.S. government bonds. All right. So the yield drops. This is a good thing for the United States. Okay. So you can see here, we have topped out. So we are going down, fam. And again, bringing it home, I'm going to show you guys when I think the momentum is going to start for cryptocurrency and we're going to get like this big, we're going to get the rallies, we're going to get the altcoin rallies and make a whole bunch of money and generational wealth and all the clickbait titles and super cycles. I'm going to give you the date the best way I can. All right. The best way I can. So it just seems like this predicts the market. It kind of front runs, or it's very correlated, not perfectly, but look, all I did was take the top and the bottom. So the bottom here, top here, bottom here, top here of U.S. government bonds 10-year yield. And I played it out here. So This was the bottom. Boom, we had the momentum rise, right? So this is the actual bottom of Bitcoin's price, but notice the momentum started here, around here. So this is like a little bit after, right? So same thing here. Here's the actual bottom right around here, and then the momentum, right? Same thing here. Here's the actual bottom, but this is like when we got serious, right? So all I did was essentially, and I pulled the number from the tops. So if you look, the tops, you come down, right? Here's the top. From the top of the, so this is when everybody's jumping back into the US government. Everyone's jumping back into the US government right here. Everyone's getting out of the US government bonds. Yield increases, everybody's getting out. Everybody's jumping back and betting on United States. Everyone's betting against United States. Everybody's betting on United States. Everyone's betting against the United States. Bull run, Bitcoin bull run. Bring it back over here. Everyone's betting against the United States. Risk on assets, Bitcoin bull run. All right. So this is a pretty good indicator. Everyone's betting against the United States, Bitcoin bull run. Everyone's betting against the United States, Bitcoin bull run. And I already showed you guys how altcoins correlate. I'll make another altcoin video for you in the future. But yeah, I've already showed you guys how altcoins correlate. So all I did was I took when everybody kind of comes down here, when everybody's jumping into government bonds, yields dropping. I took the trend line. If you look at the ultimate, it's kind of like trending down. So it looks like investors are becoming more and more confident in the United States since 1980. I'm sure there's longer charts, but you can see it's historically gone down. The yield's going down and down and down. So that means that everybody loves the United States, right? So I kind of took that trend line. It looks like we're probably going to come here. This was obviously exaggerated. The reason why I'm invalidating this is because I'm not going to jump into conspiracies, but this was the 2020 event with the masks, right? So we know that was manipulated. So we got a little bit lower than we thought. It was definitely a coordinated attack in some way, shape, or form against the United States. You can clearly see because, it really dropped and people jumped in heavy, right? So yeah, you get the point. People are going to jump and the yield will drop more and more, right? The yield will drop more and more. And as this comes down, I took the date, the length here, 644, 903. And all I did was simply average them out, added them two together, divided it. We have 784. And that's essentially when I think we're going to see the momentum, maybe 2 to 3 months. I would say like the bottom's going to be in on 500 days before the Bitcoin halving. We've made a couple of videos on this. I'm not trying to go into that too specifically, but if I grab this line here, go 500 days out, I think like the bottom's going to be for sure March 1st. It's going to be very soon, guys. It's going to be anywhere from September, October, November, January. The end of this year, we will see the bottom. Then it would trade sideways for a long period of time. I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but this is that date, 721. If we come over here, boom. This is 784, excuse me. Let's just be accurate about this. So you can see, I'm just going from the exact top. 781 is like right here, 84. Again, let's bring it over, 784. 784 right here. So the yield on the government bonds should come down. This is a clear top to me. This is on the weekly, by the way. Clear top. It's coming down. Might not be perfect, but it's definitely coming down. Reference this video in a couple years. I'm really banking on this one. So if we bring it out 784, the momentum will be crazy. Bull run will kind of like, I don't know if it'll officially start or will already be started around this date. June, July of 2024, which is a little bit after the Bitcoin halving, which makes sense. Definitely makes sense. So you will have a great buying experience anywhere from October, November 2022 to July. You guys have some time. So if you think about it, you guys have literally 644 days to make as much money as you possibly can to inject into the market and get rich. I've said this multiple times in so many different videos, guys. If you plan for the long term, you win. If you plan for the long term, you win. If you plan for the short term, you lose. What did I also say? Buying the bottom is 100 times easier than selling the top. What did I also say? Cryptocurrency is the greatest generational wealth thing, whatever buzzword you want to use, that we've ever seen in our life. What else did I say? It's very easy to get a 5 to 10x on your investment. So a lot of you are trading, and I get it. Do your thing. I'm not trying to discourage people from making money. But what you should be doing is in the next 644 days, coming up with as much money as you possibly can, building cash flow as much as you possibly can, getting a raise at your job, making more income in some way, shape, or form, and saving that money and that purchasing power or that time, saving all of that to buy the dip in this this time period here, 644-day time period. That is the best use of your money. Now, this might not get the most views. It might not be the sexiest video in the world. It might discourage people because they're like, oh man, I got to wait 2 years to get rich. That doesn't feel right. Alex, you said this could happen quicker. Alex, well, you missed it. It's over. Bull run's over. Now, I would never recommend someone to short unless like leverage short. That's the only way you can make money now. Shorting the market is the only way. I would never recommend anyone to do it unless you have some serious experience. I don't even do it myself. So why would I recommend you do it? There's literally 3 Arrows Capital got liquidated for leveraging. Celsius likely got liquidated because they have some leverage positions. Everyone's getting destroyed for leveraging. There's no way at the bottom of the bear run that I'm going to teach you guys how to leverage. It's not going to happen. And the reason I can do that is because I don't get paid by leverage exchanges to show fees. Right? You guys know how they get paid, right? I've said this in multiple videos. Altcoin influencers get paid to dump altcoins. Leverage exchange influencers get paid when you leverage and get fees. I get paid when I get accurate. When I get really accurate and people buy my course. Yeah, the course, that the whole negative perception, my coaching. That's when I get paid. But people don't buy my coaching unless I'm good at what I do. It's as simple as that. And I think I'm great at what I do. But yeah, that's it for the rant. I mean, is there anything else? Guys, this might be deep and it might take you multiple levels deep, but I know the market now is not necessarily retail, whatever that means. But I think when people say retail, we mean like people are in it just to make a quick buck. You don't really care about crypto. I think the people on crypto now are going to be the people that build the institutions next cycle. Not institutions, but the infrastructure, right? The people that build the apps, build the NFT projects, that build the cryptocurrencies, that make the coaching programs, that are influencers, all those type of people. That's who you are. So I know you're smarter than what's going on. You're smart. You're smart. And I'm not going to BS you to make money. That's not what I'm going to do here. I actually put out a tweet, MicroStrategy and MicroSale. He put it there, oh, I bought this much Bitcoin and it went out to like $1.2 million. I'm like, bro, you're going to have to convince these people. You're going to have to do something different to convince these people. Because I know the guys that are watching this channel are the true builders. I know. I feel it in my soul. And if you stop watching and stop, taking it serious, then you won't be a builder. But I know the people, that's why I'm going to keep the content like this. In the bull run, you'll see me make the skits, all right? You'll see me make the skits. You'll see me make the beginner videos. But right now, I know who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to the next leaders of crypto. That's who I'm speaking to. So pat yourself on the back for being involved with cryptocurrency and not giving up. The worst is about to hit very soon. In the next 2 to 3 months, towards the end of the year, we're going to feel it. But if you stick it out, I will show you how to become a leader yourself. As a leader that's leading 10,000, 20,000 people, I will show you how to become a mini leader. If you're not already, a lot of you are smart. And you will grow, and we will all grow together. And I will continue to show physical proof and spill the complete and total truth. No matter how much it hurts, and no matter how threatened I get, and no matter how whatever negativity that comes in my way, I will overcome it all. And if they take me out, they take me out. It is what it is. At least I did what I was supposed to do on this planet Earth. I told you guys it's God-given. This is a God-given mission, and I will continue to spread as much truth as I possibly can. That's it for this video. It was a little bit emotional, but every video we get emotional. That's how we're moving. That's how I'm moving. If you guys come to my channel and you don't get something crazy, I'm not making no more videos. It's going to be purely high-quality, crazy content like this. No, 200-day moving average. Look how the 200-day moving average played out. Where all those YouTubers talking about the 200-day, we're going to bounce. We're talking about exit liquidity. They got handlers. They got handlers. The handlers are like, tell them exit liquidity. Tell them to buy. Tell them to buy. Maybe that was a little bit too much. Maybe it was, but what happened to the 200-day moving average? I can't, anyone saying it's bullish right now with the obvious Federal Reserve policy, and the obvious situation of the world, like gas prices and everything, like unsubscribe. Or keep subscribed, but do the exact opposite of what they say. That's the gist here, guys. I love you. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. It says it on my back. You can't see it. If you don't get with it, you will get left behind. And this goes for people in crypto too. Don't sleep on them. Catch you guys in the next video.